Julian Cundiff here down at the Seven Lakes Fishery, and there have been hundreds of people here today. Well over 200 cars, hundreds of people. The great thing about coming down here with a family is that nobody is born liking angling or not liking angling, and it's something you either get or you don't get. And you can see the passion in some of these kids, and it's like anything else. I wasn't born an angler. I certainly wasn't born a carp angler. I didn't know anybody who went fishing in my family. I just happened to be riding a bike round a place like this. I saw what I thought was an old man. That old man was probably 5 years younger than me, so he wasn't an old man, unless of course you think I'm an old man. And I saw him catch a tench, which was probably about 3 or 4 pounds. I'd never seen fishing before, and as soon as I saw him catch that, an angler was born. And his tench was probably more impressive to me, or more influential to me, than any fish I've ever caught. He started me off fishing. I went fishing, I went for roach, I went for bream, I tended to build up to specialist fish. I was no particular lover of carp to start with, because the men I fished with said that carp were steam pigs. You know, you need to fish for pike in the winter, eels and tench in the summer, a specialist angler. And carp were put down because they were a difficult fish to catch in the 80s. And I remember going tench fishing, and I was fishing with sweet corn. I had 2 tench, about 6 pounds. And then I got this run, and it was in the days when I had Mitchell reels. Now Mitchell reels had clutches that were rubbish. You couldn't fish off the clutch, you had to fish backwind. And I just remember looking at my reel handle spinning at a rate of knots. And I remember I grabbed it, and I think I ended up with a bruised knuckle. And I played this fish, and I thought, this is the world's biggest tench. I'm going to be the tench holder of the world. And then I got the fish in the edge, and it was a carp, and that carp was, I believe, £12.12. It was a double figure carp, and I can say that carp, £12.12, is probably a quarter of the biggest size of carp I've ever caught in this country. That carp meant more to me than any carp I've ever caught, because I actually believed that I could catch fish after that. And whether the £12, 22, 32 or 42, it's the same reasoning behind them. Big carp aren't harder to catch, it's just that there's less of them. So if you've got a water with 10 40-pounders in, and you've got a water with 10 10-pounders in, they ain't going to be any harder to catch, it's just that there's less of them. And that carp, £12.12, made me into a carp angler, and I'll be a carp angler because of that, not because of the big ones I've caught. People worry about carp fishing and fishing being too expensive. It's only as expensive as you want to make it. Fishing is actually, the actual fishing is very cheap compared to golf, going to football matches and things like that. The venues are very cheap. And the thing about fishing tackle is once you've got it, it tends to last forever. The only things that you need to keep buying are line, hooks, maybe leads. Rods, reels, buzzers are so well made nowadays, you don't need to replace them. When I had a rod and a reel, 20, 30 years ago, you would be lucky to get a year out of it. And the next year's rod was so much better that you had to change. The rods you have nowadays are going to do you for years. You don't need to buy brand new gear. Second-hand gear, because carp fishing has a large turnover of people, second-hand gear is available everywhere. And second-hand carp fishing gear is perfect. It's just, once you wipe it down, it's just as good as normal gear, because carp anglers tend to be a bit fastidious about the gear and look after it. So I would say to anybody who wants to take up carp fishing, don't buy brand new gear, buy second-hand gear. And the best time to buy it is in winter, because when it gets to about October and November, people are fed up with carp fishing because they haven't caught one for a while and they've got things to sell. So my advice to you is buy second-hand gear. Always turn up and find it. You can find it in tackle shops, you can find it online, but second-hand gear is just as good. Once you've got your rod, your reel, your buzzer, your net, and maybe your tent or whatever, the only things that you need to change regularly are your line, your hooks and your leaders. Everything else will last for years. I mean, people look at my stuff and they say, you could get new rods off Nash Jules, you could get new buzzers. I'm just happy with what I've got. As long as my line works, as long as my hooks are sharp, and as long as my bait catches carp, second-hand tackle, I wouldn't feel under any pressure to use brand new tackle. Second-hand tackle will catch you just as much as brand new tackle. Well, 2019 has been the first year, start of a year, when I've been retired. I retired last year in 2018 after 38 years of work in the courts. So 2019 was the first year I've ever not had to work. And you know what? There's no downside to retirement other than you don't get bank holidays. The good thing is I've never been a long stay carp angler, but what it's meant is I've been able to turn up, and I've been able to turn up at lakes and say, well, I know there's only 2 or 3 swims going to produce today. There's somebody in them, I'll go to another lake. I tend to fish 2 to 6 hours. I pick the right place, and I've had, well, probably a couple of 100 carp this year already. It's been fantastic. Technology in carp fishing, well, I don't want to be seen as a Victor Meldrew. I love, timeline is everything. I love fishing because it's difficult. I don't want fishing to be too easy, and so to me I like traditional fishing. Now traditional fishing to me might be modern day fishing to somebody who's born before me. I'm not keen on bait boats and drones and things like that. I like to think sometimes that the carp have got away with it and I haven't caught, because when I do catch I feel better about it. So modern technology is great, and I'm not going to stop anybody using modern technology, but I sometimes want to think, where are those carp, rather than I can see them with a I Spy or a deeper or a drone. I like the carp to outwit me, because when one does go in the net I go to myself, I got you this time. So modern technology is absolutely brilliant, especially for the people who've grown up with it, but I tend to do carp fishing and fishing on my own terms. I don't care what other people do, I do it so that I'm happy. It's been a fantastic time. I came down last night, first time I've seen the fishery, and what a wonderful place. It's just everything a fishery should be. It's not just fishing, it's been a family day, and it's great to see all the families here. I go to so many fishing events where all people want to talk to me about is fishing, but I've had people here with the faces painted, I've people with the dogs, I've seen people on the coconut shies, the inflatable matters. It's great to see the police here, the fire brigade. So families have brought their kids here and they've really enjoyed it. I've had a chance to chat to plenty of people about carp fishing, and it's amazing to see how many people wanted a picture, wanted a signed autograph, wanted a rig tying, and to see these people go away happy makes me happy, because it wasn't that long ago where I used to come down and watch my heroes in carp fishing or other fishing doing the same thing. So to see all the kids going away happy is brilliant, and there's been loads of coffee, I've seen loads of dogs tying up rigs, smelling bait, and you can see all these parents and they're thinking to themselves, oh, all those smells. But honestly, it's been a great place, and if you want to bring your kids fishing, this is the place to go. There are 7 lakes, and it's not just big fish. They can come here and catch 6-pounders. There's going to be some tuitions on here, one of the few places that you can actually have a tuition on the bank, and it's a perfect place as well. The bankside's brilliant. It's not full of long stay carp anglers. Whatever you want to do, 7 Lakes is the place to fish. Really loved it, and I'm looking forward to coming back next year. Next year I'm going to be doing some fishing, so when you come down next year you'll see me on the lake. I'll be casting out, setting up, or you can do it as well, and when that buzzer goes you'll be the one landing the fish, not me. See you next year. It's been great.